Hi everybody, welcome to Wade's Greenhouse May tour here. This is a greenhouse tour and I'd like to start it off here by showing you my first seedling of this that is bloomed. This is Encyclia bourricana, which is a cross of Encyclia elata with Encyclia bractescens. I really like this thing. Bractescens is giving it a very nice lip, and it is going to grow up a little bit from what it is. It's just a very short plant right now, as you can see. It's only about, well, the leaves are quite long, but it stands maybe about 5 or 6 inches tall, and it's going to end up having a dozen or so flowers at least on a spike. So I'm hoping that most of these little buggers here are going to be blooming very soon, next year, along with lots of my other seedlings here. I'll just pan across them really briefly here. We've got dendrobiums, and over here's another Cattleya alliance. Up here we have Catasetum tenebrosum coming along, and hopefully there'll be more as we go along here. So we're going to move along here and take a look up on what I call the wall, and try not to shake too much. It's pretty shady in here right now. It's been rainy, and there's a little Tolumnia that's called the Hollow's Legacy. It has nice sized flowers on it, nice full lip. I like it very much. That's a first bloom seedling also. And we have other things here. We've got, let's see, Leptodes bicolor. That's doing real nicely. Starting to put out more new growth, as you see there. Another small Cattleya alliance here. This is, oh my, it is Dendrobia polybulbin, which used to be Encyclia polybulbin, till they decided to rename things along with everything else here. But it's growing along nicely. Couple of dendrobiums I have started here. Dendrobium primulinum there, coming along nicely from seedling. Here is, let's see, this is a Cattleya alliance that I can't remember. There we go. Epidendrum ciliary. And I just mounted him up pretty recently, but it's starting to get a couple new roots there. I think it'll come along nicely. They wilt a little bit when you first mount them from a division like this, but they'll come along. Okay, now let's turn around here and take a look at some Oncidium alliance. Here we have an offspring of Shari Baby. This is called Oncidium Heaven Sent Sweet Baby. It is chocolate scented like Shari Baby. One of the nice things I like about it is, as you can see, it doesn't get nearly as tall. It's a much more compact plant, and it puts out 2 flower spikes on a bulb very easily. I have seen occasionally 3, but that's pretty rare. Just real nice plant. Over here, this is Oncidium Hakao Halua, variety Volcano Queen. One of the very few true red Oncidiums, especially the lip. And I hope to use that in some breeding. I did try to cross it with a brassia to try to get some brassia type flowers that have some red in it, but I don't know that that there were any viable seeds. But we'll keep on trying. Over here, this is Oncidium Nia Rosa, variety Sweet 16. It's in spike here, and I bought this in January at an orchid show in North Jersey, and it had a spike that was finished that they had cut off and a nice flower spike that was blooming. And I had the misfortune on the way back, as things happen sometimes, the spike broke on me. But this same bulb is putting out 2 more flower spikes, which is really unusual. I did not expect this. But it sends out a really nice branch spike, has a lot of flowers on. We'll take a look at it when it's fully open then, and I'll show you the plant then. Now, up here we've got some Cattleyas, an Oncidium there. Here is an Encyclia. This is almost, well, the buds haven't formed yet, but that's an Encyclia Dickinsonianum. It has nice brown flowers. Ascocendum Mona Church, which is a primary hybrid. Here is Ascocentrum Hendersonianum, a little seedling that hasn't bloomed yet. And we've got a few more things here as I go around. Right there is a cross of Encyclia Alata crossed with, I believe, Placata. That is in spike and going to bloom for me really soon. Nice tall spike there. And now we'll look around here. This month it seems that things are kind of in between blooming. Not that there isn't anything in bloom for me here, but there were things that I was hoping that would be in bloom that have faded. Some things that are not in bloom yet. Here we have another Encyclia. This is the time of year for Encyclias. And this one here is one that I got at the flower show about a month ago. This is Serena O'Neill. And it's a cross here, if we can get this in right, of Mabel Canda crossed with Cordillera. And Cordillera has got usually dark purplish flowers. And maybe it's an alba variety. If not, it really did something to the purple. But it's a nice plant, nicely branched. I really like it. It's been in bloom over a month now and still doing fairly nicely. Okay, now we'll look around here. Got lots of Cymbidiums like this. These things really need to be repotted. What a job they are. And some of them are going to get divided here, but I got my work cut out for me in them yet. So we'll be working on them. Over here, I put some of my plants that require a bit more shade. Down here, this is, I showed this to you before, this is a compote of Tolumnias that are coming along really nicely. You can see lots of nice roots. Probably in a month or so, as soon as I can get some more cork, we're going to be mounting them. Try to get some new roots attached to the cork before fall comes around and slows their growth down. And oh, something here. This is from a flask. I put them in little water bottles and then put the top back on to get them started. But I haven't seen this hardly at all, but that is new growth of sphagnum moss there. I can't get sphagnum moss to grow at all when it's just sitting around, but here in this contained atmosphere with what was about 100% humidity, it started to grow, and it's still growing. So that's kind of strange. I don't think I'll get enough to harvest, but it's nice. Okay, we're going to look around here, go over to the other bench, and we'll start off with the south end here. We have a Laelia here that is finished blooming on this spike, but if we look closely down here, see if I can get this in for you. Here is another new growth, and inside of that new growth is a flower spike that's going to be coming up. It's at least it's the sheath that you see. The spike is inside of it, and there's two more new growths coming. So this thing is really doing nicely. I'm very pleased with it. It's a Laelia bridgeri. I'll try to get the next video, if it should be open, or whenever it is open, I will get it on video for you and show it to you. It's a very, very nice flower. Here we have, I guess, probably the king of the orchids for right now in the greenhouse. This is Brassia rex variety Cicada, which I think has an AM AOS. I've got about a dozen spikes on this. There's, as you see, a fair amount that's open now. There's a couple spikes that have finished blooming. Back here we have more spikes that are coming up and will be blooming. This is going to be blooming for a couple months, 2-3 months yet. Just it is a large plant. It's overgrowing an 8-inch pot here, as you can see down here. It really needs to be repotted after it's done blooming, but I'm hoping to grow that up a little more, and then maybe if I can get all the spikes blooming at once, to get it in for a CCM. We'll see. A lot of things like that depend on timing, and a lot of times you can't control the timing. More Cymbidiums here. Okay. Here we have our ever-present Phrag longifolium. And here, this is something unusual too, with Phrag Sorcerer's Apprentice. I have 3 flowers open on one spike, and a second spike just getting ready to open its first flower. So it's very happy. I'm very pleased with it. That will keep blooming for months, and I just love it every time I look at it. Down here, there's another smaller Sorcerer's Apprentice that has a spike coming up, and here is another plant that I got at the Central Pennsylvania Orchid Show. It's a dwarf Phragmipedium, and it's got a spike on it coming up right there. Okay, that'll probably be blooming in a month or so, so we'll try to get that on video also for you. You notice most of these I'm keeping in saucers of water here. Something I should mention with your frags that you're keeping in saucers of water like this, rinse them out every once in a while, because especially the summertime, you're fertilizing quite a bit. You're going to get a lot of algae buildup in these things. So about every month or so, just take them all off and rinse them out real well, so you don't start getting an accumulation of bacteria and crap in there that you don't want. Okay? Here I've got a couple of blooming size Catasetum alliance. This one here is a cross of Sandy Kasner crossed with Dodsonianum and something else. And Catasetum Alex Pardo. Oh no, that's what the cross is. It's Cloecia Dodsoniana crossed with Catasetum Alexis Pardo. And it's okay, you got me on this one. Cloecia. Anyway, it's Sandy Kasner. And I have yet to see it bloomed. It was sent to me by a very nice, kind friend of mine to help me get started last year when I just got the greenhouse done. And it's doing very nicely. Here's another one. This is Catasetum Orchid Glade variety Jack of Diamonds, which has been along for quite a while. Catasetum Orchid Glade. Orchid Glade was a clonal name that a company by the name of Jones and Scully, which is very, very famous back in the 70s when I started growing orchids. But they got this awarded and gave it that clonal name. And here, I only have one Lycaste right now, but it's coming up. That's, or not, yeah, Lycaste. That's Lycaste Yoko's sister. And it is a primary hybrid of Aromatica and Cruenta. Nice yellow flowers, very floriferous. Then behind me here, this Oncidium just blooms like crazy. It's Oncidium spacillatum. The thing is a big monstrous plant. But let me know if anybody wants a piece of this thing. I can get you pieces of them fairly cheaply. I'm going to have to be dividing it up pretty soon here, but oh, you get 75 flowers at least on a spike, branched really well. It's got fairly nice form. Let me zoom in here for you. Nice light brown and yellow flowers. Okay. And move along front here. Here's my Australian dendrobium seedlings. They just keep growing like crazy. As you can see, this one here, which is Dendrobium telecon, cross of Kingianum with Hilda, and it's just sent out 3 new rows here, over here, and then back here. Okay. So that's 3 growths that I'm pretty sure will bloom, and that's a 4-inch pot. These things, I can't wait for them to start blooming. Boy, they're growing like crazy for me. So we'll move down here. This is Encyclias, yeah, Bractescens that I did a video on just recently. And these are the 2 4-inch pots that are for sale here now. I'm going to keep the smaller one. Matter of fact, I just made a cross of this one. Come down here. Okay. Sorry, get the camera off sometimes. So I made a cross of this with Epidendrum stanfordianum, variety Chesapeake, which is up here. I'll see if I can zoom in here. Nice pink lip, fairly good width on the segments. So I made the cross both ways, see if one or both of them take, and maybe in a year or so we'll be able to flask that up, see what we get from it. So, and that's about it for the month of May here at Wade's Orchids. I hope you enjoyed looking at things here. If you have any questions at all, please let me know. Summer's here, nice and warm. Fan in the back of me has been running. We have the cooling pads set up here at the end, and they've been in use quite a bit. With those pads and the fans going full blast, I can keep the temperature here down below what it is outside, which is saying something. So you guys happy growing, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye bye.